Welcome to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I am your host, Matt Brandenberger, alongside my tired wife, Abby.
Most likely, yes.
And our jubilantly excited producer, Adam Moreno. So many reasons why.
If you're watching on YouTube, can I just say, like, this angle I just love.
I don't know.
It's a producer's angle. It's a producer's angle that I just
well,
love.
Hey, if you're happy, Adam.
We're happy.
If you're happy and you know what, have a good podcast.
There you go.
Oh, we have one.
I've got my pickle pen.
Top 6.
You got your smoothie?
Pickle juice. We'll just go with pickle juice. It looks like pickle juice. Adam described it as like
baby's diarrhea.
Baby's diarrhea.
I wasn't going to say it,
Now
but I'm sure Abigail will.
Yeah, now I'm not going to
I'll
have
say it.
another sip. So thanks for ruining it for me, Adam. But welcome. We are glad to be back with you. We had some good feedback after last week's episode and a few comments. You wanted to mention one of our comments. We talked about paddles and shoes.
Yeah, and I love that we're getting feedback. And maybe I can admit I failed to do some due diligence with our episode last week. So let me give you some follow-up. Okay. Our friend J9 with Pickleball on the Road on TikTok, she made a comment on YouTube. This was really good information. So you can, I Googled it this morning because I read the comment. You can get some demo paddles from the companies. Yep. There's also a Pickleball Galaxy that you can choose 2 paddles, and for $30 you can demo their paddles. So those are all really good things. Here's though the tricky part. Yeah, is you have like one of them was 5 days. Oh, okay. One of them was 7 days. I don't know.
Shipping to and from.
It is, and it means I got to go play now.
Right.
And
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But like as life would have it, I'm not sure I'm playing all week this week. So I would hate for that to be the week you get paddles.
Right, for sure.
And then you don't get to play. Yeah. So I love that there's an option, and I love that J9 brought that up.
Yeah, like we talked about last week, especially for those people who may not have somebody in their area who is a paddle distributor. So that's still, I would say, option number 1. Talk to somebody like Abby and I or other people who have paddles and have demos for you to try. But if not, that is a good option.
It's a great option. Good. So I'll link it in the show notes where I found all the paddle sources.
You're so nice.
For demoing. So that was really good information. And again, I probably should have looked it up, but here we are. And then J9 also said she went to the Indie Racket Club for shoes. And, I hadn't thought about going.
That. There were a group of ladies, I think, that took a little road trip down there.
That's awesome.
Oh, 80 for Brady?
Maybe. I don't know what that means.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Am I dropping knowledge on you? I might be dropping knowledge on our listeners then.
Is it relevant to anything?
Is it Tom Brady?
Well, yeah. You don't know the movie?
No.
There's a movie coming out called 80 for Brady, and it's based on a true story that 4 women in their 80s traveled to go and meet Tom Brady and go to the Super Bowl, the one that he came back against Atlanta. Oh. And when you said ladies.
Yeah, and road trip.
Yeah.
Immediately you woke up.
You're like, some obscure movie about Tom Brady must be it.
Yeah.
But that you don't know it. I just wonder, all right, I want some comments now. Yeah. Do you guys know this movie? No. Like, am I weird for knowing it?
Yes. Possibly.
It's Lily Tomlin, who is the mom in Forrest Gump? Sally Field.
Oh, Sally Field.
It's Sally Field's in it. Like, come on.
Like me.
It's, So anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's not 80 for Brady.
No. To be clear.
Just 4 ladies from Fort Wayne that went for pickleball shoes. But I can see where
similar.
Let's move on.
But all of that to say, it'd be nice to go down and try on shoes. Yep. I don't know that we have something like that in Fort Wayne for court shoes unless you go to like Dick's.
Yeah.
And I don't go to Dick's. Just
I did for my first pair of pickleball shoes, and they had like literally 1 or 2 pairs. Yeah. And I didn't like them.
I thought you were going to say, I don't go to Dick's for religious reasons.
Are we going to have to start over? This is getting ridiculous.
No, we're good. Let's just put your head down and keep going.
Oh, gosh. I thought last week was bad. Somebody texted me as like, Adam's on one. After they listened to last week's, and now you've gotten us off to an easy.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Oh, golly gracious! Okay, all right, so we're going to start with a topic that we actually mentioned a few weeks ago. Well, actually, we have not released this, so
I'm very anxious to release it.
We have one episode that's kind of in the hopper that we'll be releasing here within the next few weeks, probably. Dealing just with injury prevention.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be confused. A good one.
I was like, guys,
we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit, but part of that was about sleep.
Yeah.
So kind of take us through what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. The importance of sleep and not even just for pickleball, but just for physical and mental recovery. If you've played pickleball, you know that you need to be, physically there. But man, have you ever been like physically okay, but not mentally okay? Like you show up and you're like, I don't know where my brain is.
That's
like
my personality.
I was going to say a lot.
Right. Yeah. That's how I live my life.
Adam, how many hours of sleep did you get last night?
So
this is a great topic for
no, I had an early morning meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, this is making so much sense.
So that's probably what it was.
Okay.
So I was up at 6 a.m.
Okay.
And my lifestyle does not require me to be up at 6 a.m. I have no children that I know of.
Right.
So it's my life is different.
Right.
My life is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you stay up late and you probably sleep in late. You stay up late and get up early.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
This is going to be great for both of you.
Okay, good. Teach us something.
Okay. First of all, Dr. Matthew Walker, PhD, which I can link all the information in the show notes here, says that sleep is the greatest legal performance enhancing drug that most people are probably neglecting.
It's legal. Legal.
It's legal.
Yeah.
The legality.
Yes. So, first of all, there is a connection between poor sleep and having pain. It's not that you have pain and then you sleep poorly. It's that you're sleeping poorly and you have pain. And so then, and this is going to go back to our anxiety and depression episode, which is episode, I believe, 6. So you've got like this lack of sleep due to anxiety and depression, which then leads to this pain, and then you're dealing with chronic pain. So that's why I feel like pickleball can help all of this. The anxiety and depression, help you sleep a little better, and then that can then address the pain. But anyway, so this is going to go through just tips to get better sleep and some interesting facts.
Awesome. I would say, just kind of to set this up too, for me, the lack of sleep comes more with, having things to do and then being on devices, I think is my number one, like, guilty pleasure, playing games, watching movies, watching pickleball, and just staying up all of a sudden, oh crap, it's after midnight.
Right.
I got to be up at 6
I think that's most people though, is just that device.
But there's a discipline aspect of that.
Lack of discipline.
Yeah, that I just need to not have a device in bed would help me out a ton. And what is the recommended amount of sleep? We're going to get to that.
Thank you for asking.
It's almost like we planned this.
Oh my goodness. So, first, let me just start from the top. Consistent wake and bedtime.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't do midnight one night, 9 the next night, whatever. Just at least within an hour of sleep and wake every single day. So I'd say I'm fairly consistent at that. Normally about 10 to 5:30.
No one likes a bragger.
Yep.
You guys, I'm awesome.
Good job.
So, appropriate absorption of sunlight.
Oh.
And let's talk about cloudy Fort Wayne.
Seasonal depression.
Right.
Nailed it. So you can buy happy lights.
I didn't even get the show notes. I just know.
Right. If you just get on Amazon, you can get like a happy light and you can like look at it. I'll link it. I've seen it.
Wait, you can get a Happy Meal at
McDonald's.
Yeah.
And a happy light at Amazon.
I love lights.
And then
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
when you do it, she tells you get a happy wife.
Right.
I know.
Happy
this is
light,
a great episode.
happy wife. Isn't that what they say?
Happy meal.
Happy meal.
Yeah.
So you can also wear blue light blockers to watch your TV or screens.
And you can have no friends.
Yes.
Like what?
A lot of people at work will put those on when they're in front of their computers.
Yeah, exactly. Not at home.
Right. Well, your phone actually has a blue light blocker setting that you can turn on.
Nice.
At night, so you can watch your phone and computer.
I do have a setting for Facebook messaging. It turns black at night instead of white.
Yeah.
Not that, but thank you.
Well, fine.
Cool story.
So
nobody likes a bragger, Adam.
So talking about that light also is not helpful. So not only are you on your screen, but that blue light is making your brain like wake up.
Stimulating your brain.
So then there's caffeine having a half-life. So don't drink it afternoon, as I'm drinking my latte right now. And then don't work out before bed.
It's morning somewhere.
Don't work out before bed.
So
a lot of people do.
They do. And listen, we play pickleball at night.
It tires them out. They shower and they're ready for bed.
In theory, yeah. And if that works for you, that's great. Just this is just kind of a general thought. I know for me personally, when I play pickleball late and I shower, I still have a hard time falling asleep.
Really?
But that's just me. And so this is just a general idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so sleep, this is where I think it gets super interesting. Sleep is a necessary function of life, both physically and mentally, for both collagen laydown and your neuron regenerations in your brain. So we're talking about long-term memory. Like that's when you're storing when you're laying down like long-term memory, and you're like, your brain is like washing the neurons to like clean them out.
Yeah.
So we need 8 or more hours of sleep at night.
8 or more. That just, I mean, that's
most
not,
Americans sleep less
realistic.
than 6.
Yeah, it's not realistic.
It's not realistic. I would say I'm on the less than. I'm average a little less than 6 probably.
So based on your life,
great.
What time do you have to wake up? You get the kids going. You got to get to work.
It depends. I mean, I have some meetings. I would say on average I'm setting my alarm for 6 a.m.
Okay.
Now, is it sometimes a little later? Yes.
Sure.
Sometimes it's earlier. Abby and I have been getting up early and going to the Y, where it'll go off at 4:45 some mornings. So
6 a.m. that would put you at 10 p.m.
That's doable.
yeah, that is doable.
I don't see guys like us doing that.
Okay.
And that also is, yeah.
I'm not saying
You just live your life, guys.
No, I would like 12 hours. Shoot.
and
I
lose
sleep.
your memory and be unhealthy and hurt.
Yeah, and hurt. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd be bad at pickleball.
But I hear you, because it's like you think about that, and it's like, well,
10
I need
p.m.?
to start getting ready for bed then at 9:30, and
I
then
know.
there's nights I get home from work.
In the summer, 9:30, the sun's still out.
Right, exactly.
Listen, I didn't come. You quit whining.
We're
I don't
not
know. I don't know what
We're
to tell you.
attacking Abby.
But hey, but you know what would be a good goal for me? We talk about growth mentality. Is not saying,
Growth
well,
mentality.
I need to all of a sudden go to 8 if I'm like barely at 6 maybe. Shoot for 7.
Maybe one thing at a time.
I could start, getting to bed a little bit earlier instead of, playing an extra game or watching an extra video.
On the back end, what if you woke up at 6:30 and hustled?
Yeah.
Not so much.
You're already hustling in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm a hustler.
Yeah. So here, this is still more interesting stuff.
Okay.
Your 4 main stages of sleep. There's wake, which waking and transition time, that's normal. You can wake up at night. That's a normal thing.
Yep.
There's the light sleep, which is when you're going in and out of the deeper sleep. So your deep sleep,
REM.
Your deep sleep is physical restoration. That's the collagen lay down. Your REM, that's your mental restoration.
Oh.
So you need both. So deep sleep occurs earlier in the sleep cycle because your body prioritizes physical restoration.
Is there going to be a quiz?
Yeah.
REM sleep occurs later in the sleep cycle. So here's what you need to know. Are you lacking deep sleep? Here's how you know. If you feel groggy when you're waking up, you need more deep sleep. You go to bed earlier.
Okay.
Okay. Does your body not feel recovered? That's lacking REM sleep, sleeping later.
Gotcha.
So a recap is, if my body feels good, but I'm just like, I don't want to wake up right now.
You need to go to bed earlier.
Okay, that's where I'm at.
Yes. I'm more like physical. Like I wake up, my knees kind of hurt. Like I'm just stiff. Of course, that's probably normal. But
That's your age.
Yeah.
Did he?
ripe old age, 42.
Yep.
So just some thoughts.
Right.
So getting good sleep. I'll link all of this in the show notes, like I said. But it's, I think, very underrated. Sleep is very underrated. And it reminds me of this meme that I saw on Facebook.
Yeah.
How do you know when you're finally an adult? When sleeping is no longer a punishment, but a reward. I'm
True.
like, that's me.
True.
I love sleep.
I'll take a nap.
It's like I have this love-hate with
funny.
sleep, because it's like first thought I wake up every morning is like, oh, I'm gonna get to bed in good time tonight. And then tonight rolls around and it's like, I want to do this and I want to do this. I want to watch this. And I end up not sleeping nearly as long as I want. So it's like, when I do it, I love it, but it's just the discipline really is what
discipline.
it comes down.
That's what it
for
comes
me.
down to. It's discipline. So pain management and a legal performance enhancing drug. So my encouragement is to look through and think through your sleep cycles, your sleep hygiene is what it's called.
Yeah.
So kind of looking through that
And
and
there's
maybe make
technology.
changes.
There's technology
Yeah.
now to track sleep. I kind of wonder sometimes about the accuracy and validity of some of those things, but doesn't hurt to kind of see what it looks like and kind of test it against how you're feeling and see. A lot of watches and phones even have things on them now. So good stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk some stats, and I am a stat geek, and I will just say,
Same.
we kind of did a little exercise with statistics, and you're not going to want to miss this. We learned a lot.
It's so fun.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Between the two of us, we've had 7 orthopedic surgeries, 4 cortisone injections, and countless injuries that have required physical therapy, and we are only in our early 40s. So where do we go when we need physical therapy? Indiana Physical Therapy.
That's right, Abby. With 22 locations in Fort Wayne and the surrounding counties, Indiana Physical Therapy will be there to get you back to work, play, and life.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Visit indianapt.com for more information.
Welcome back to One More Game, presented by Hoosier Pickleball. Adam and I just took a quick break, a little nappy nap over the break, inspired by Abby's statistics about how much sleep can matter. So
You guys look great now.
do we? Yeah,
I snored, I know.
lot better for sure. But we're going to continue this podcast talking, going a little bit different direction. We're going to talk about statistics, and I'm a stats geek. I was made fun of as a kid how much I loved baseball statistics.
That wasn't the reason why you got made fun of.
That was one of
That's what he tells himself.
one of many. It was also my legs that came up to my shoulders, but
Oh,
yeah,
they're so cute though.
Run.
and my big ears.
Forrest
Oh,
Gump,
you don't
that's
have
2.
big ears.
Yeah.
2 references to Forrest Gump.
All right. I digress. But here we go, talking some stats. And what we did, we took Ben Johns, played in recently the PPA Hyundai Masters gold medal matches. First with his brother Colin, they won gold. And then he played with Annalie Waters, and they won in mixed. And so there was a stat that came across Facebook, and we wrote this down, and we decided to record some of our games and kind of match our stats up to theirs, which was really kind of interesting and eye-opening.
It was just fun to do.
For sure, it really was, because I videotape quite a bit. I love to, kind of watch the tape. That's back to my coaching days, and love watching tape and figure out what I can do better. But this is the first time I've taken stats and actually like written down like how many drives and drops and how successful was it. So here's first of all Ben John's success rate here. Ben and Colin together in their men's match, they had 26 drops, 27 drives. So they were almost split evenly with how many drops and drives they had. Colin was 10 for 10, getting them over the net. Ben was 43 of 44 for 97%. So combined, out of 54 drops or drives over the net, they missed one. That's incredible. So that is like, a 98.4% success rate, unbelievably high. And I think what's also just a note there, what's interesting about that is how many more third shots are going to Ben. And so you'll notice that a lot in competitive play. Ben is the stronger player, so they're going to hit to Ben to kind of keep him back. It's not always necessarily just the stronger player, but maybe the one who's a little bit more aggressive and crashing the net. So if you hit your third shot to him, then it's going to keep him back a little bit more. So
when I play with you, I don't get a ton of.
And I'll try a lot of times to let you take them so that I can be more aggressive. I'm the one that kind of likes to crash the net and to poach. And if I'm not hitting a third, it frees me up to do that. So interesting there. 58% success rate on speed up. So when they sped it up, they won the point just a little over half the time. Thought that's kind of interesting. I would love to know how many speed ups they had.
And how did they qualify? Like when we did our speed ups, I qualified it as we were at the line in the kitchen, or at the kitchen line dinking. We were in the dink game, and then somebody left it high and we sped it up. It was his counted mid court. I don't know. They didn't say.
Right. But definitely interesting that it wasn't a ton. It's not like he was winning 90% of his speed up. So just over, but over 50%, 58%. In their gold medal match, Ben had 1 ATP, 1 Ernie defended, and Colin had 3 Ernies. So Colin's really looking to jump over that corner and get that there.
And if he's on the right side, he's doing a backhand Ernie, and that is just something I need to learn how to do.
And so just to be clear, this match would consist of 3 games.
3 games.
So it's 3 games. In their double or mixed match with Ben and Annalie Waters, 44 drops, 9 drives. Annalie was 10 for 11, again, just like Colin. She got the majority of them, and Ben was 43 for 44. So again, just an incredibly high percentage, well over 95%. And we've mentioned this before. It's only about 96%, so only about 4% of of pros or of shots are missed by the pros on third shot. So that's kind of the number that we kind of
We should
aim
say,
for.
we're like 4%.
4%. You know, you miss one out of every 20 or so. So 70% successful on speed ups. That's very interesting compared to Ben and Colin, who are only 58%. They were 70%. So when they sped it up, they were winning the point almost 3 out of 4 times.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep. Ernie's, Annalie had 1 Ernie, Ben had 1 as well, and it looks like they didn't have any ATPs in that
No
mixed match.
ATPs and no ATPs defended.
Yeah,
Or Ernie's defended, I'm sorry.
no Ernie's defended. So let's kind of move over into our stats then. You maybe kind of talk about yours. So we each went through 3 games as well. So we kind of were taking what would have been like a normal 3-game match.
Use the drone or no?
No, just set up the
That'd be
video
cool.
camera.
Yeah,
I
so
want to see the drone.
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like I have to say I actually only did 2.5 games because our time ran out, and so that game actually literally stopped at 5-5.
Oh, okay.
So it's a decent half game, but
Sure.
you know what? I'm still going to use these because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
fun to do.
of course.
And also, I didn't do anything about my partner. I didn't count my partner as anything except Matt Carpenter's because we were joking about it. So I do have 1 stat of his. But so my third shots, excuse me, I was 19 for 22, 0 drives.
Wow.
I hit 19 or 22 drops.
You save all your drives for when you play with me.
Apparently, I don't. I don't know. Apparently, I don't drive, which
That's good though. I mean,
yeah.
that the majority of your shots, maybe not 100%, but should be looking to drop the ball,
Yeah.
not drive the ball.
But I should work on drives.
Sure.
So I was 86%. I broke it down. 7 bounced in the kitchen, and 12 of them my opponent volleyed it out of the air. So I feel like, hey, I got it over. That's great. But maybe I could work on a little bit more preciseness. I don't know. Just something that was interesting. And I do feel like I have to say, out of the 3 thirds that I missed, one of them, when I put it in the net, my opponent walked over to get it, and he looked at it, and he threw it in the trash because it had a big crack. So I'm not,
Smells like an excuse.
I feel like that's an asterisk right there.
Do you want to make up an excuse for the other ones you missed too, or just that one?
I have reasons.
You do have reasons. We won't share them though.
So yeah, I had 0 third drives, so I think I need to work on that. Now I told you how I counted speed ups. Is dinking at the line and then speeding it up. And out of 2.5 games, I only sped the ball up 2 times.
Yeah.
That's really disappointing.
I noticed a similar thing in my play.
But I won them both.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had a high percentage of speed up.
So I'm 100%.
So does that tell you need to speed up more maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah.
As I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know that I obviously must have missed something.
Right. But we both teach and preach a very conservative game. And so it does. I mean,
Yeah.
it was one of my kind of revelations in doing this is, do I need to be more aggressive?
Yeah.
But
were my opponents keeping it low?
right.
I mean, they were good players. I'm not going to
Yeah.
take that from them.
Yep.
I did have 1 ATP attempt, but it was defended. So it did not work out. I kept this stat because I thought this was fun. My longest rally was 34.
Yeah.
And because I love long rallies. So it included like all the things, the drops and the dinks and resets and speed ups. And I had a really
Went through
nice
all the phases
lob.
several
Yeah,
times,
I
yeah.
had a lob. And so then I do have to add in Matt Carpenter, who I feel like at this point is not only an honorary Brainerburger, but like an honorary
He's on the show. He's
podcast.
sitting right there.
His presence is
dude.
with us.
He's our cameraman.
Yeah.
He's our camera. So he was 15 of 17. I only played 1.5 of those games with Matt, so this is only 1.5, but he was 15 of 17 with his drops.
So not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had no drives,
No drive.
but that's a
as
pretty
well.
good stat.
Interesting.
So then my just kind of last thing I want to say is recording yourself playing pickleball, I think is in keeping some of these stats is just really fun to do.
Yeah.
So I have some things now I want to work on
Absolutely.
and things like just some takeaways that I have. So
Yeah,
really fun.
I agree.
to do.
And maybe for the sake of time, I won't go through like all of my stats, but just kind of my biggest takeaways. I had 90% of mine that were over and in. So
That's good.
Instead of 96 is kind of what my goal would be, and I was just over 90%. So a little bit of room to work with. The thing that was shocking for me. So this is what I was like, whoa, this is really an area that I could work on. Is of all of my third shots, I only missed a couple of them, right, in the 3 games that I recorded, but I had 21 that were volleyed out of the air, and only 4 of them that actually hit the ground. So a good third shot drop, we always teach, we want to hit it into the kitchen, make it bounce. But 21 out of the 25 were actually volleyed. Now,
That's so interesting.
It really is, because I pride myself. I
Right.
mean, I people tell me a lot, my third shot game is,
It is.
one of my
It's very
strongest
good.
suits.
Yeah.
But here's the caveat I would say is not all volleys are equal. So
Right.
I felt like a lot of mine, if I would go back and do the statistics again, you'd see a lot of people who were taking the ball out of the air, yes, but it was down at their shins and ankles.
And they probably should have let it
Yeah.
bounce.
And so I think the better way to keep that stat would almost be the trajectory of the ball. Is your opponent, when they're hitting their 4th shot back to you, are they able to drive it at you, or do they have to hit it at an upward angle to get it at the net? And that would kind of tell you a little bit more. So I do hit a lot of third shot rolls opposed to just like a more arching third shot that gets up and down in the kitchen. So that's maybe something I will still work on. I'd like to kind of be able to do both.
Yeah.
But I was shocked at how many of mine were volleyed. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until the first game I had 0 third shot.
That bounced in the-
The second game I had 1, and
Oh
then
my
the third
goodness.
game I had 3.
That's amazing.
The other part that was very interesting to me that I don't even think I realized that I do so much is how much I drove the ball.
I didn't know you did that either until you said that.
And I don't know if, again, maybe it was an anomaly. It was just the games I was playing, but it was, 4 guys, pretty high level, playing against each other. And
You might, actually, that's a good
Yeah.
point. You might drive more in guys' games.
yep, because I will drive. I do, and I've taught this before as well and said it on the podcast. If my opponent returns it to me with a drive, I know that they're going to still be back trying to get to the kitchen. So if I see they drove it, I'll kind of drive it back at them a lot of times to allow myself. And then I'm really more or less hitting like a 5th shot drop then. And I am pretty disciplined on those drives. Most of the time I was hitting then a 5th shot drop. So I'm not like a drive, just like crazy man
Yeah.
coming in, just swinging away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I,
that was interesting.
yeah, I did keep track of how many were hit to my opponent as well, because I thought it was interesting. I'm no Ben Johns, and playing with my partners, it was pretty equal in terms
Yeah.
of who was targeted.
And again, you weren't playing with a girl.
That's
you were
true.
playing with 4 guys. That
Yep.
makes a difference.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if I would do the same stat.
Like if I'm on the
keeping.
court with you, do you take the majority of the thirds? I would guess you do.
Yeah, yes and no, but a lot of times I'll say you've got third,
That's true.
unless it's all the way to me, unless they're
Right.
really intentional. But anything
Right.
in the middle, I'd try to let my partner take a lot of the times if they're comfortable with it. So,
Yeah.
so that was pretty even throughout in all 3 of my games. There was only
Yeah.
one that had a
Disparity.
disparity, but otherwise it was like real close. And the one that did have a disparity is with a partner that I've played quite a bit with, and I typically play on the left side, and I do take a lot of the thirds there. So
That's
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting to do all of that. Our longest rally we had was 28 in one of my games. So thought that was, what was yours?
34.
34.
Yeah.
So you win in that. I did record one. I think
You did, you told me.
showed you. It was 49.
49. That's amazing.
From a couple of weeks ago is an incredible point that went back and forth. That there's nothing better than a long pickleball point
There's
that
really
goes
not.
through all the progressions
Yeah.
and has a speed up and then a counter
reset,
and then a
yeah.
reset. Yeah,
That's
so that was really
great.
good.
So like I am giving lessons, and I told one of the guys I give lessons to, like, video yourself this week and you let me know your takeaways, because I mean, I can tell people things all day long. But until maybe there's some like seeing it themselves, there's a new light bulb that comes on when you see it yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? You've been telling me this, but now I see it,
Yeah,
or something like that.
And right along those lines,
Yeah.
I noticed last night, I didn't even remember doing this, but I won like consecutively 2 or 3 points in a row where I was lobbing it. There's something kind of I was seeing. I don't know why I decided to do it, but I lobbed a couple, it's during a dink rally, and I just hit one right over the guy across from his head, and they had to chase it back, and then they were scrambling up the net. We ended up winning those points. It's like I need to mix that in more, and I'd never would have remembered that I had done that, but now I go back, watch the video, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to try to remember to do that a
Note to
little bit
self.
more. And the speed up thing was very interesting too. So this is the last stat
Yeah.
that I have on mine, is how conservative I am, because I do feel like I hardly ever speeded up, and that kind of showed itself as well. So I only had a total of 7 speed ups in those 3 games. So not in what were Ben John's stats. It was like a ton of speed ups. and he's winning 58% of them. In his mind, if he's winning more than 50%, it's a good decision, right?
Right.
I won 5 out of the 7 that I sped up.
That's a good percentage, though.
Yeah, but it also tells me that I should be doing it more. I mean, if the percentage is high, if my percentage
Maybe
is
you're smarter than Ben Johns, babe.
there's no way.
The caveat was babe.
Babe. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love you.
wouldn't be saying that. Yeah,
No.
I love you. You're so good looking.
You're the smartest.
So yeah, really fun to look at stats. I'd encourage you guys to do the same. Drop us a comment or let us know if you do end up doing that. What
I would
you
love
learn
it.
as well.
I would love it at Wildwood next time we're there if there's just like phones like on all the tennis nets of everybody recording themselves.
Everybody recording themselves.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah. There's got to be, and I'm sure somebody out there smarter than me has thought of it, but I think the statistical aspect of really starting to have amateurs be able to keep their stats and be able to figure stuff out. I mean, coming from the golf world, stats are just, I kept my stats all the time, but you could go back through a round and, think through how many fairways you hit, how many greens and those sort of things, and then see the areas you need to improve. In pickleball, there's not like a natural way to do that. So,
yeah.
All right, great discussion. I love talking pickleball. We appreciate all of you. Let's end with something we love.
Yeah.
What do you got for us today?
Should I go first because mine's the best?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So it's our oldest's birthday here. You know this because it's also Adam's in the next couple weeks. My daughter is going to be 14, and so we just love her. And we call her, she's our little Super Bowl baby because we got the phone call on Super Bowl Sunday of 2009 when she was born. She doesn't listen to this, so I will say one thing here in a second. But anyway, she's a fun kid. She's athletic. She loves her friends. She has a good sense of humor. But I got her on Macari. It's an app. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. I'll link it in the show notes. But it's a resale app. Actually, if any of the Bookers are listening to this was their Commanda told me about it. And I am addicted now. But I got Hannah a Lululemon outfit for her birthday. And
Are we becoming a Lulu family?
I guess. But it
bougie.
was obviously like a quarter of the price because that's how we roll.
Yeah, we're like a discount Lulu family. Used Lulu.
We're
in the
a
Meyer bin. Like
used
Lulu's
Lulu.
in the Meyer bin.
Right.
I'm not ashamed. So Hannah's going to be thrilled though with some Lulu stuff for her birthday at a fraction of the price.
Fraction of the price. Like Adam, who's been very excited about his 49ers this playoff season, I follow a different football.
Football.
And I'm wearing...
Is that why you're wearing that?
Yeah, I was wearing this today because I've not been this excited about a team that I follow probably since the Cubs back in, was that 16? Colts back in 07, and then Hoosiers in 87. That's all I've had.
That is a sad life.
It's a sad life.
I know. I get the Warriors, the Giants.
Oh my gosh! Because
I get teams that win.
You're like a West Coast. Okay.
That's
I
why
was
you
gonna
should
call
like
you
Ohio
Fairway.
State.
Oh my
West
gosh.
Coast is best coast.
I did kind of claim Ohio State in
For a while.
02
02.
when they won the national championship. Then I came to know the Lord and repented. But Arsenal is having just an absolutely incredible year. They're in the title race, kind of out of nowhere. They've got this young team, great coach, and I am loving watching them play.
You shouted so loud the other day.
And yeah, the other day they played Man U last weekend, and it was.
I mean, you scared the entire family.
Unbelievable game, and they won kind of at the death, as they say in football.
Every single person jumped.
They did. Yeah. What happened?
Who's on the hoses?
So, all right, well, we're going to call that a show. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate all of you out there, and keep listening, keep telling your friends. Leave those 5-star ratings. That's what really helps us grow the show.
But I also love your feedback so we can
Yes.
talk back at you.
All right, we'll see you next time.
As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Indiana Physical Therapy, and Pickleball Rocks. In addition, a big thank you to our production company, Coraggio Media, and the 95.7 WELT studio in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number 1 More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the word. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun, tips, tricks, and other family nonsense, and also some great discussion. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.